Hey, what is going on, everybody? You are back with TheReal PG for another NBA player prop video for today, Thursday, December the 29th. Before we get into today's video, if I could please ask you guys to smash that like button. If you've not got subscribed to the channel, make sure to get subscribed and hit that bell button for the most up-to-date information on player news, player line movements, and anything else in regards to today's slate. Before we get into the picks, I got 3 important links down in the description section below. First is to the free Discord, basically an extension of the YouTube channel and the heartbeat of the Real PG community. About 1,000 people deep, talking NBA, NFL, NHL, Thrive, Prizepicks, you name it, 24 hours a day. You can come on in, check it out. Lots of value to be had. There's also a big hits section where you can see kind of what people have been doing. Some of their trophies, stuff like that. And if you are curious about getting behind the paywall and getting a little more than what is on the surface of the free stuff, the next link is in for you. That is going to be to the Patreon. So the Patreon is 2 tiers, a base tier and an all-access VIP tier. Right now we currently run Monday through Friday and Sundays until the end of the NFL season, when it will drop back to Monday through Friday. But if you do come into the testimonial section and you want to know a little bit more about the Patreon, how we're doing, and what people have to say, you can scroll through here on your own time, check it out. People have some commentary on there about myself, like I said, the Patreon, like I said, as well as some of their big wins on tails. About 98% of these wins on the testimonial section are tails of mine. You will find one here and there that is not, but most of those go to the big hits section. Last but not least, let's jump into the third link over at Thrive Fantasy, my partnering site. Right now, we got a pretty good promo going on for you guys over here at Thrive. If you sign up with my promo code, capital letters PG, and deposit a minimum of $20. After that, you would head over to the Discord and let me know you've taken care of the Thrive requirements. I will get it verified. Once you are verified, I will pay back half of your $20 deposit, or $10. You will also get a match on your money up to $100. So if you deposit 20, you'd get 20 free. Deposit 50, you get 50 for free, and so on all the way up to 100. So on your $20 deposit, you would be getting 40. I'm giving you 10 back. So you're getting $40 for 10. Not only that, I'm then going to be giving you my Patreon plays for the day that you were approved, so you can spend it, your free $30 on those plays if you choose to do so. Last but not least, you will be entered into a raffle for a jersey of your choice, NBA, NFL, NHL, any player, any team, you name it. Only people that are going to be in this raffle are people who have signed up for Thrive over the past 30-day period, so it is not going to be that large of a group. So chances of you winning are relatively high. So like I said, head on over to Thrive, give it a look. Got a couple different cool things going on over here. We got the prop lobby, just like your basic underdog, Prizepicks, whatever site. And then we've got the contest lobby, which is more like your DFS side of things, which would be... Sorry guys, got logged out. Which would be more like FanDuel or DraftKings. And it's a little bit of a different game theory where you're basing this more off of props opposed to off of a salary cap base. So basically what they're doing is taking these props and they're shedding them either a little to the over or a little bit to the under, and then giving you a point system based off of which way they have shifted the line. Your objective is to take 10 picks out of the 20 given to you. So what you're going to do is you're going to select either more or less on each player on 10 out of the 20, and your objective is to get the highest point total possible. Not the most correct out of 10, but the highest point total. So if you are taking lines that are a little bit more outrageous, you're going to get more points, like CD under 4.5 for total receptions. If you think he's going to go over that, you only get 75 points because it's pretty obvious he should go over. But if you want to be bold and take the under, you'd get 125 if you were right. So again, there's a lot of twist on the game theory. It's a lot of fun. Come check this out. Just another perk and benefit of Thrive Fantasy and being able to do this all on one site. That being said, guys, let's jump into these picks. So I've got a couple for you today on Thrive. The board is not fully loaded yet, but let's take a look at what we have got that may have some early value. So we're going to hop into this first game with a 239.5 total, Charlotte versus OKC. A nice up-pace matchup, and I'm liking Terry Rozier's points an awful lot. If we take a look at Terry on the books, let's Scroll on down to Terry's points. Terry Rozier's points at 21.5 are just a little bit over even money at minus 121 to the over, minus 109 to the under. It's not as huge of juice as I expected there to be, and this is kind of what I'm basing that on. So we're looking at Charlotte playing at home today. So we're going to switch this over to home stats. We're going to jump back into the correct game here, and we are going to take a look at Terry Rozier and his points. So Terry's points at 21.5. So these are his road games, you guys. He has hit this in 7 of the last 8. He missed it most recently against Atlanta, and then 2 on the tail end. So if we bump the minutes for Terry, there's no Oubre tonight, so there's going to be a little bit of a raised usage, maybe a couple extra minutes. So let's watch what happens if we bump these minutes upwards of 30 and see if we see any changes. There we go. So we just filtered out a couple losses at 33 minutes. 35 minutes, we filtered out another. So if we're seeing Terry Rozier hit 35 minutes tonight, he has hit this number in 8 of 9 games at home, and the one he missed was by a three-pointer. So this looks to be a pretty solid bet despite the line not giving you much value, with a up-pace, high-total game, last 9 looking like this. I don't think you can really fight this play, so let's lock that in as our first one over at Thrive. I would like to look at LaMelo Ball as well, but I don't really love the PRA or I love the straight points, so we're just going to pass because there's no point in trying to squeeze something that isn't there if we don't need to. Next, let's hop into this game. I believe there was one play I had in here. Yep, so we got Kawhi Leonard, and I'm also interested in Paul George. I'm just preferring both of their points alone, and I can't get either of those. So I'm going to look at leaving Paul George off on Thrive and just taking a look at Leonard. And we're going to be looking at his points plus rebounds to the over. So let's hop on the books and scroll into this game, take a look at Kawhi Leonard. So Kawhi's been on a tear lately. He's been looking really good now that he's getting back healthy. So at 21.5 points, he's minus 133 to the over, plus 102 to the under. PRA minus 124 to the over, 106 to the under, just so we keep that in mind. His rebounds are also juiced at minus 131 to the over, minus 102 to the under at 6.5. So if he was to hit points and rebounds both separately, or he even hit just one of the two and he hooked short on the other, he would still be getting us to where we need to be at the 27.5 line. Let's take a look at Leonard's past. And they are going to be playing away today versus Boston. So let's take a look at Leonard's points. They have set at 20.5. We will bounce this up. This doesn't look right to me. Something looks off here. Hold on 1 second, guys. Interesting. All right, well, Kawhi, I guess, doesn't have it on the road like he did. I must have been looking at a home split earlier. No, I don't know what I was looking at. Is it a different prop? That looks a little better. I mean, if we bump the minutes again here, let's see what we're getting into. So if we get over 30 minutes, you know, we've seen basically a hook, a hit, a three-pointer shy, and a game where he was 6 shy. So honestly, Kawhi's points aren't in the best of spots here. The rebounds are looking a little better by themselves. So you could just take his boards, but that is not an option over on Thrive. So our options are to leave it alone or to take points plus rebounds. And here's why I'm set on taking points plus rebounds. Let's look at Leonard's game logs versus Boston. So as a Clipper, he's had 4 games against them. Most recently with 25 points, followed by 28 points, followed by 28 points again, and 17. So only one of the last 4 games as a Clipper has he missed the 20.5 total. And in these games, he has had totals of 9, 11, 11, and 6 boards. So all but this game in 2019, he has destroyed the points, he's destroyed the rebounds, he's destroyed the assists, and he's destroyed the PRA. So based on history, I am certainly okay taking him at this point and rebound together at 27.5. So let's lock that in. If you prefer looking at the assist, you can certainly do so. But yeah, we're going to look at that right now. Again, Paul George is very viable. You can look into that on your own time, as I think Kawhi is probably the safer play of the two. Last but not least, we're going to take a look at Mr. Luka Doncic today at 41.5 points and rebounds. Let's take a look on the books first and foremost and see what they are talking about on Pinnacle in regards to Luka's lines today. So as we scroll down, we see Luka coming in at a whopping minus 154 to the over at 32.5 points, plus 117 to the under. Dominating juice there. The PRA shifted down to minus 126. It was a little bit higher over the course of the night in the 140s, but I'm still not concerned against the Rockets, where every superstar comes to put their foot down and clamp in, So I don't see why Luka wouldn't just absolutely clap them tonight. If we look at the boards, though, plus 102 at only 8.5. So this does make me a little nervous, even though I do see him scoring probably 40 points alone, which is the only lack of concern. But at plus 102 to the over, minus 134 to the under on 8.5 boards, we could count him, 7 probably, 8 at best. Give him, 34 points. So we'll call it 34 points, 7 boards, that's 41. And that's just pretty obvious, a guess there. Let's look at what the line was. 41.5, yeah. So we're right where we need to be, guys. If we take a look at Luka, we're going to see that he has been very, very close to hitting this prop in almost every game this year, but he's fallen short by just a little bit multiple occasions. So let's take a look at home. Luka. And his points plus rebounds. So as we see, he has had 81 most recently against the Knicks. Yikes. Followed by 2 games where one he hooked, one he was a basket shy. Then he had a total of 35 where he missed by 6. Prior he cleared. Then we had hook, clear, 31, clear. If we take the point or the minutes up, over 32, let's see what happens. Not much has changed. Let's keep scrolling them up. All right, so at 36 minutes, we take away 1 red. At 37, we take away another red. So anything with 36 minutes plus, Luka should be able to absolutely destroy the number against Houston. If we look at the matchup for a point guard against the Houston Rockets, they're giving up the second most points in the NBA. So this is just a dream spot for Luka. He's going to be able to do anything he wants, anywhere he wants on the court. So we're going to look specifically to the points and rebounds right now. Like I said, the rebounds are not great for the Rockets for the point guard, only giving up 6.4 per game on average. Not great. The assists, however, look a lot better, but the assists are not offered on Thrive. So again, your choices are to leave it alone or to take it and just go, yes, he's playing Houston, he's going to get the job done. So that is what we've got. I have already submitted this exact lineup, so I'm not going to resubmit it. But I think that is what I've got for you guys on Thrive today. Again, make sure to come over here, sign up today through the 20th of January to take full advantage of the current promotion. And there it is, lineup that we talked about, already locked in, ready to go. $10 to pay $62. Best payouts in the industry, hands down. Yesterday, fully tried to take advantage of the 4x 2-mans, but Kevin Durant had a different idea for yesterday. So let's take a look at what went down yesterday for me. So we had Vooch. So let's start here. We had Vooch hook shy. $62 down the drain. We had a win with DeRozan and Brook Lopez, way too close for comfort. We had another win with points plus rebounds DeMar, and then points plus assists DeMar along with Brook. And then we had KD absolutely ruin the Giannis prop. We had KD ruin the DeMar prop. We had KD ruin the Markkanen pop. And we had KD ruin the DeMar and Giannis prop. So, I mean, that's a couple $100 out the window on Kevin Durant right there on look at that, 5-man, a hook and a bucket, so yeah, it's probably $400 gone yesterday on Thrive. Thank you, Kevin Durant and Nikola Vucevic. I really appreciate that. Let's head over to Prizepicks. My day yesterday, equally disgusting, you guys. So here's what happened to me yesterday. This is what's going on. Hook, win, win, win. Hook, win. Hook, win, win, hook, win. Hook, win, hook. Hook, win. Hook, win, hook. So pretty sickening, when literally 80% of the players you picked yesterday landed within 1 to 2 points of hitting their prop and literally causing a swing of over $3,000 between Thrive and Prizepicks yesterday. Very, very annoying stuff. The NBA is becoming the NFL right now, and it's not great. The direction we're trending in. These guys are not all on the court right now. I don't know if it's a little holiday fever they got going or what, but we're going to try and let this bypass. Hopefully they pick up early January. Playoffs are approaching. Players are going to have to start getting in shape. They're going to want to get themselves in the best possible seedings. So we have a lot of good basketball to look forward to. So let's look at the plays over here for today. So the first play I was going to give, unfortunately, has some caveats now. I was loving Donovan Mitchell's points at 27.5 against the Indiana Pacers, but with Halliburton now being game-tied decision, I'm going to leave this out until we know more on that situation. So again, we are going to look back to Terry Rozier and his points, as we already looked at. We are going to take a look at, let's see who else did I, all right. Okay, so we're going to take a look at Kawhi, like we mentioned on the other video, but just points. Because like I said, I preferred just the points, but I couldn't get it over there. So at 21.5, we're going to take it. It was 20.5. This did get bumped somewhere. Did I get it at 25 earlier or 21.5 earlier? See, yep, it got bumped in the last hour. So now we're up to 21.5. Don't love it quite as much. I might shift to the points plus rebounds at this point because it was just 27.5 when this was at 20.5. So points plus rebounds has not shifted and been bumped, yet the points have. So you could take the rebounds by themselves, where he has hit in 4 of the last 5, and we will dig into a little bit more against Boston. The points plus rebounds, as you can see, he has also 19, 16, and 15, along with, so we got 27, 23, and 22. So he wouldn't have cleared in any of those games. But let's take a look at Kawhi on the road. Adjust the rebounds, perhaps, now that he got bumped, as well as the points plus rebounds. And then we will look at George on this site as well. So let's take a look. Kawhi Leonard. All right, so points on the road. Yikes, man. What a difference with the home road splits, eh? So he has been right in the 21-22 number continually this year, guys. 21, 22, 21, 21, 31, 22. So he's been nowhere near the number, and this is points plus rebounds. Strict points, 13, 14, 16, 14, and 15 were his misses. So the matchup isn't looking great for Kawhi, but again, the history has me sold. I can't really fight what I'm seeing on screen here with totals of the last 3 games, 25 to 28 points and 9 to 11 boards. We're going to just take the boards, I think. I think that probably is the safest look. If we take a look at Kawhi on the road, just his rebounds, he's hitting 4 of the last 6 games, hooked short once. If we bump these minutes at all, see what happens. Yeah, so not much of a change. We lost to Green. So at 29 plus minutes, he's 3 out of 4 on the season on the rebounds on the road. If we look overall, so overall, Kawhi's been smashing this number. Boston, he had 9 last game. Been averaging 7 over the last 5, 7.5 over the season. Let's lock him in for 6.5 boards to the over. Next, let's take a look at Paul George. All right, so I like Paul George's points. I was also a little bit interested in his assists till I saw some history on that. So Paul is a notorious hooker, as quite a few people have been lately, with totals of 23, 32, 22, 22, and 17, hooking us short twice, putting us on the right side of the hook once. So it's not, oh man, I just lost my people. All right, so we had Rozier, and we have Leonard, and we're looking at Paul. All right, so we're going to be looking at Paul's points. Let's take a look at the matchup and what is going on the books for Paul George. And again, there are other better plays on this slate. This is just an option while we're in this game that you could look at if you prefer this over Kawhi Leonard. Due to the history, I don't love the spots that either Tatum or Brown are in today. So we looked at Kawhi in the 130s, minus 130 wheelhouse. Let's take a look at Paul and see where we're at. So Paul George, minus 138 to the over on his points, plus 104 to the under. It looks great. If we take a look at Paul George on the road and his point totals, let's look at it. We'll look at everything, but so here's points on the road: 23, 32, and the notorious hooker, 22, 22, 17, 26, 36, 29, and 2 duds back in the beginning of the month that we're not even going to think twice about. Bumped us up to 30-some minutes because that's what he will be playing. We'll call it 32. Doesn't help a lot. He's still 5 out of the last 7, 6 out of 10, but on a day's rest, looks pretty good. A hook and 7 hits or so. On the last 5, 3 out of 5 on the road. If we look, that's overall. I'm sorry, guys. Let's get to the road stats. 4 out of 5 on the road. Let's go back to the last 10 now on the road. 8 out of 10 on the road, you guys, at 32 plus minutes. Let's go all the way back to 0 minutes, where he is still hitting 4 of the last 5 with 1 hook only. And if we jump this up at all, even into the mid 20s, does it jump? Nope. So when we hit the 30-minute mark is when we pop. When we hit the 33-minute mark, we become almost 100% without this hook, So over the last 8 games, we have basically ran this one 100% with Paul George. So we're going to lock his points in. Let's take a look at the matchup history real quick. Paul George. All right, so Paul has put up 26, 32, a game where he left after 15 minutes. So we're not even going to look at it. Following that, 25, 37, 22, the notorious hook number, 24, 25, 37. So he has done absolute work. As a Clipper, he is hitting 3 of 4. The game he didn't hit, he was pulled after 15 minutes, I'm assuming injury. But he has surpassed the number by at least a bucket in every single game as a Clipper. Otherwise, I do like both him and Leonard for points today. I like Kawhi's rebounds equally. So this is what we're going to do. Just because I have a lot of Leonard, I'm probably not going to submit it in this. Maybe I will submit the boards. Let's get into Luka. So Luka Doncic has been bumped on his points already. His PRI has not been bumped yet. We'll look at rebounds and assists. We'll do all that. So Dallas is playing at home today. Houston is an up-pace matchup for them, but nobody really plays at the pace of the opposite team. It plays at Luka's pace, and that is kind of the issue. Even though in an up-paced matchup, they're not going to see much pace up because Luka will control the pace of the game as how he desires it to go. So let's just scroll into this and take a look. We got a total of 10-point spread. It's a little scary, a little high, but 226 total only. So they're expecting a game somewhere around like 118, 108 type thing. But yeah, let's scroll down to Luka and see what the numbers look like. Even at the bumped number of 33.5. Oh, he's still at 32.5 on Pinnacle. Minus 154 to the over at 32.5. I still would take this at the bump. I see him putting up a 40 piece tonight probably. Rebounds are juiced to the over. Assists juiced to juiced to the under. Assists also juiced to the under. So we are going to probably be looking at either his points or his PRA today. We could look at his fantasy points as well. Let me pull it up on my other monitor and see what I get for Luka's projected fantasy points for the day. Oh, this is being strange. Maybe I won't be doing that. How weird. Alright, well, the points are based off of FanDuel on Prizepicks, but I can't get a FanDuel reading right now. I can only get a DK one, which is relatively close, but he's looking to be over 10 points over the next closest fantasy point scorer as SGA at 51. Luka is sitting at 62.3 fantasy point projection. So let's come back on here and take a look at what his fantasy points are at, if they are available. 60.5. I do think that's pretty damn close to where it should be. But yeah, we saw the 105.2 per point performance just on December 27th. Some amazing stuff there. So we see 60 is kind of a cakewalk for Luka, as he's basically averaged 60 outside of one game against Minnesota. So I have no problem looking at his points or his PRA, but I don't love taking bumps as just a general statement. Let's take a look, though, and see what Luka has done at home, and if we can find a way to justify this for ourselves and see if it does make sense. So let's get him to his road splits, or his home splits. All right, so look at this. This is the picture of consistency. 60 points most recently, followed by a hook on 32, 33, 30, 38, 33, 33, 41, 22, 33. So he has been riding that 32.5 line like nothing else. Let's see if we go into like any different category. PRA, same thing, just riding that line, riding it consistently. Let's see if we hop into like a points plus assist. Same thing, just right on that line. Points plus rebounds, right on that line. So this is my hope today, that he is on the right side of this line playing Houston, giving up the 22nd. They're the 22nd worst team in the NBA as far as points allowed, 21st in field goal percentage allowed, dead last in three-pointers allowed, three-point percentage, 23rd. So they're just overall a shit show on defense, and Luka should be able, like I said, to have his way however he pleases. So we're going to just go ahead and take the 33.5 bump against everything I stand for, but we're going to do it because it is Luka. So those are 4 plays I have for you. Let's see if there's anything else I do really feel that should be added. The only other plays that I did like I said, was Donovan Mitchell, but now that's a little bit scary with the blow-up potential. First half, last time they played, he only put up 13 points first half, so he would have came up a hook short. But he has not been hitting this number a lot lately. Actually, we can take a look at one other player instead. Let's take a look at Shea. So, SGA has become a little more human lately and hit some games in the 20s. He was on that streak of 30-plus almost every game forever, but in a 240 total game against Charlotte, where the point guard is just eating. Let's take a look at the matchup. So we've got the point guard versus the Charlotte Hornets for points. There they are, giving up 26.4 per game over the last 7, and over the season, we are looking at relatively the same at 26.4 points per game. So it is literally the exact same number. Okay, so definitely comfortable at 26.4 on average being given up. We're talking a much over average player here in SGA, playing against some LaMelo Ball defense, and I'm not too threatened by that. So if we take a look at Shea, though, the issues for me lie in his past and his past in the matchups versus Charlotte, as well as his most recent performances. So let's get back into this game. Again, this is only a 1-point spread with a total of 239 points, you guys. So this should be just like the game of the night. Let's scroll down to Shea and see what they're talking about for his points. They have bumped up to minus 120 to the over. This was at about plus 140 at about 4 o'clock in the morning. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to throw SGA in. Oh, well, look at that. There's the Donovan bump. Well, so much. That play is definitely out now. Let's see if they bumped full game as well, or if they just bumped first half because they know something we don't yet in regards to Tyrese Halliburton. I'm assuming that is what they do know, and we do not know yet. Nope, they did bump it. So D-Mitch has been bumped to 28.5. So I am definitely very happy with my getting him in at 27.5 now. All right, so we have got 5 plays on the board, and I'm going to give you one last one. This one really scares me because the man can't stay out of foul trouble. We got Jaren Jackson Jr., though. We're looking at his 13.5 points, you guys. So let's take a look at Jaren. They are going to be away today versus Toronto. Not a great matchup, but Toronto is extremely beat up right now, you guys. Let's take a look at the starting 5 for Toronto. We got Fred VanVleet, already game time decision and looking unlikely to play as of right now. We also have game time decisions on Precious Achiuwa, Koloko, and Otto Porter. Otto Porter is actually already out. So we got 3 GTDs and an out. Starting lineup of possible VanVleet, otherwise probably Malachi Flynn, and then OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Juancho Hernan-Gomez, and Pascal Siakam running the center versus Steven Adams today. But we're going to be looking at the Jaren Jackson matchup. I do also like Steven Adams' spot today, but we're going to look at Jaren specifically. So let's look as the power forward matchup versus Toronto. It's probably not great, is my guess, for points. But is what I was looking at. So at 19.22 only. I was looking at center points earlier, and they're a little better at 22.5, middle of the league. Either way, both are clearly above that 13.5. Let's look over the season where Toronto's fallen, 22.4. So they're giving up about 22, 23 points a game to the center, and about 20 to the power forward. So let's see. Yeah, 19.62. So the power forward matchup isn't great, but let's take a look at what Jaren has done in the past versus Toronto. He has at totals of 25, 16, 20, 16, and then a game where he only played 19 minutes back in 2018 for 4 points. We're not even going to look at that. So he's had game totals of no lower than 16, which he hit twice. We are looking for over 13.5 today. Let's take a look at Jaren Jackson on the road and what his splits look like, and see if we can confirm this as our last play. Away. All right. So this is what Jaren's looked like away. Minus 5 out of 8, minus 167 implied odds, minus 135 actual odds. If we scroll this up into the mid-20s, assuming he stays out of foul trouble, if we see 22 minutes or more out of Jaren Jackson, he has hit this in 5 of 6 home games, 5 of the last 5. So this is a pretty solid looking stat right here. If we look at the PRA, just out of curiosity, it's the exact same. Let's scroll this back out for PRA. It looks the exact same as the points. Yep, identical. So Jaren Jackson, points or PRA would be fine. Let's take a look at just his rebounds by themselves. That's scary because if you take PRA and he gives you one of these 2 or 3 rebound games because he got in foul trouble, he probably won't hit points anyways. But if you do look at it, he's juiced minus 150 to the over on the boards. I also like the Steven Adams boards today, but I think the number is just a little high. Let's look at the assist. So he's had either 0 or 1. So PRA probably is not the move. I'm going to land on points personally. So this is 6 I can give you right now, you guys. I don't know at 145 if these 6 are going to be final decisions, but these are piquing my interest at this current point in the day. Again, we're looking at Terry Rozier over 21.5 points, Kawhi Leonard over 6.5 rebounds, Paul George over 22.5 points, Luka Doncic over 33.5, SGA over 31.5, and Jaren Jackson Jr., king of the foul, 13.5 points or more, if he can stay out of foul trouble. If not, we're going to see a lot of Steven Adams, and in which case, I do like the Steven Adams boards at 10. The juice kind of all over, but the man has been getting it done lately. He's got a little bit different matchup now versus Siakam than he would have had starting 5 remained the same. Koloko would have been the center, and Siakam would have seen the 5. Would have seen power forward position. So it's going to play out a little bit differently for both Adams and Jaren today, but Jaren now winds up with a little bit easier matchup than he would have against Pascal. So again, he will be lined up against Juancho Hernangomez, and I think he should be able to put the moves on him. If he does get himself in foul trouble, you can count this prop out the window guaranteed, because that's just the one of 2 ways he rolls. He's either getting you there or he's fouling out in the first half. So we're going to count on Jaren Jackson to get it done. Last time I did this, he failed me absolutely miserably. But we have to have a short memory like a goldfish in this game, guys. So again, these are the 6 I'm giving you. I got you 3 over on Thrive. Again, those were Kawhi Leonard's points plus rebounds, Terry Rozier points, and Luka Doncic points plus rebounds, all to the over, as well as these 6. If you are tailing, I wish you the best of luck. And again, make sure to check out Thrive Fantasy to get the newest promotion. Until the next one, guys, peace.